Good. I'll share my screen. I'll share a couple of links first. This presentation I will put in the chat. It is, you can follow along with me if you'd like to. It's, there's not a ton of content on it, but you can, I'll kind of be going through this. I actually made this with another program of Figma called Figma Make, which I'm not going to get into real deep, but it's kind of an interactive vibe coding thing. You know, that's the word that's being thrown around a lot these days, where you can just kind of give a feeling, and it will kind of generate the code based on that. But anyway, that's not the focus of our topic today. So kind of what we're going to get into today is to look at some of the graphics manipulation programs and some of the photo editing programs that exist now, and not do a deep dive into those, but sort of compare where we are and how you use course as instructors. How do you manage your images? How do you kind of push the graphics in your course? I think we can all agree that images are really a part of every single course that we use, whether it's whether it's you know, clip art in a PowerPoint or a course banner, and they all have a place in just about every assignment. I know we're even that feeling of being a kid and turning through a book and seeing pictures in it. You know, that's it sort of brings up that whole concept is still very valid even in an online course. So I'll kind of go through what we're going to cover today. Really four things, and really go back to this video. Don't feel like you need to keep up with every step that I'm doing here. So just feel free to, I'll try to give clear instructions and show you if I'm using any keyboard shortcuts, I'll tell you what those are. But for every keyboard shortcut, there's an on-screen affordance there to open that tool. So I kind of want to look at some of the what I think of as kind of the four big programs right now. You have we're going to sort of compare the design and use of Figma with Microsoft Paint and Canva and Adobe Illustrator at a high level. We're not, like I say, we're not going to deep dive into those, and kind of get an idea of where you might use each of these. We're going to go really spend most of our time in Figma just looking at the interface and how we can get how you can manage your data and the exports, and visually how the images look. So we're just going to kind of start from scratch and create a course banner that has 3 sizes, and I'll teach you how to call up a basic plugin from Unsplash. So again, like I was saying, we're not going to get into all the features of Figma. It's a really advanced prototyping tool. It's one of the reasons it's caught so much traction in the industry, is because you're able to build prototypes and entire applications with it, essentially. So a lot of the apps that are being developed now for iPhones and Android are being built, or at least kind of wireframed, outlined in Figma first, because you do have that option to, once you design visually, you know, then that has to be handed off to a developer. So we're not going to be getting into that. So again, we're just going to go for the look at the navigation and the interface, and then we're going to create a banner, and I'll show you how to export it. So let's kind of get through the comparison here. So feel free to take yourself off mute if you've used any of these programs. Just kind of speak up or put in the chat if you have anything. If you have any opinions on any of these, feel free to speak up about them. So
Hey,
are any
Jamie,
of you using?
Jamie, can I interrupt for a second? Is there a way that you can make this visually larger for us? Because it's really hard to read.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's so much better. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me know. I'm looking at it on a big monitor, and I'm just it's hard to tell how it translates. It's part of the one of the downfalls of video conferencing, right?
Yeah, we're good now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So if you missed those other slides, So I've just kind of hit the control and the mouse wheel, and that zoomed in the Chrome window there. So uh, so just feel free to take yourself off mute if you have any thoughts on any of these programs. I've used them all quite a bit. Uh, you know, I don't really have a Macintosh equivalent of what this is. I'm not sure what that program would be exactly, but Microsoft Paint, you know, we've all used that, and you know, the default Windows image, we call it an editor, but it's really more of a place to dump screenshots and maybe to annotate for with arrows or whatever. Not super advanced, and you don't need to be super advanced. Um, you know, Illustrator on the other side of that equation, has anyone ever used Illustrator or for any reason and in there? Okay, yeah, Brown, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, computer science. Uh, so in a lot of cases of what we do here, it's the equivalent of you know, buying a 747 for the free peanuts. It's just overkill for the program, the power it requires, and it's if you're trying to get to that level of printing and the precision that you need, Adobe Illustrator is really what you need. Um, you know, going backwards in the simplicity side, Canva is really probably the most democratic choice. It's probably the most popular out there, mainly just because there's so many. I'm going to say maybe tens of thousands of templates to use, um, and they're all just ready to plug and play. I mean, you just really find something that fits your vibe. I might be saying that word a lot. You know, you find a template that you like and you go with it. Um, or you might you know, you find something that where Canva really comes in is that everything you need to make really professional quality graphics is right there, kind of under one roof, and you don't have to farm out to find images. You don't really have to, and it's in the way the interfaces are in AI, the way how it's all developing, it's becoming to see, well, I want to make an Etsy poster this size, and I want it to have this feeling. And so it's getting to the point where you just start to type that stuff in, and it makes something for you. But you know, as we all know, we that has various results which you can't really depend on. Uh, Especially if you have any kind of a filter, or if you have a specific way you want it to look. It's best just to kind of start from scratch if you can. One thing that I don't like about Canva is that I feel really locked into those templates, and I feel like once you start to change them, the magic of the design goes away. So you in some cases, I feel like they're extremely recognizable. You know, you see posters for any event, and it's almost as if it has its own look to it. I don't know how to describe it, but you can almost see something designed in Canva. And that's not a bad thing at all, but it's just a matter of preference. And so what we'll go to today, just moving on up to Figma, where we are today. So uh, it's designed for this quick reusing, this quick iteration of images. And so if you have a course that you're building that you need to make the banners for, and that's what we're going to do today, I'll kind of show you, I'll walk you through each step of that. Those banners are just super easy to group all the things together, duplicate them, and then you can keep everything really well organized. The Figma as the company, there's a lot of different products that they offer, such as the design tool, which we're going to use today, and then there's also the FigJam, um, uh, kind of a collaboration. It's I'm trying to think of the Google product, Jamboard. It's the official replacement for that. If anybody used Google Jamboard, it's a very similar function. Um, So Figma is it exists purely on the web. It's extremely lightweight and just buttery smooth. So it's what you call a vector-based illustration tool. So that so when you create an image, it uses mathematics to sort of expand the image up and down so that you can always have a really clear image. That's what we're going for. Whereas Microsoft Paint might allow you to import an image, you know, as soon as you blow that image up, it's just going to become pixelated and blurry. So, and then you really can't use it after that. So we're always looking for just really clear, high resolution images. So um, with the way we export in Figma and how you use, let me zoom this out just a little bit to get all the things in there. Can you still see that okay? Yeah. So just if you have the option, if you have a Canva Pro subscription, or if you have any reason to use any of these, this is kind of the sort of the plug and play idea. So why I use Figma because I create course banners for multiple courses that we work on, and I can go in and build and change them super easy. Um, Canva, if I need a template, if I need an infographic that I'm not going to be able to design necessarily myself, some of them things are just really better in Canva. Um, Illustrator, exactly. You already know if you need Illustrator, you already know why you need it. So, and of course, Paint's never going away. I'm never going to throw any shade at Microsoft Paint. It's been there through the thick and thin. So, I've always got a special place in my heart for Paint. So, uh, but it's gone onto the bench for now. So, say that. Uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop in. So it's what we're gonna do today in Figma. I'll if you'd like to follow along with this, there's a couple of things you could do. You can go to Figma.com and create an account. You can sign in with Google. Um, One thing I will mention with the materials that you need, um, right, there is an education tier that Figma offers, and they take this very seriously, and that they basically give you a pro seat for free with Figma, and there's a lot of value that comes with that. You really just need to be verified through the education tier, I guess is what you call it. So the URL, if I can find it, I'll be super happy if I can find it. So I think it's like Figma. If I can find it, I'll put it in the chat. So figma.com/. Sarah, if you happen to have that URL,
Yeah, I think it's just figma.com/education, but I'm gonna double check it.
that is, yeah. Okay, yeah. So got it. So I'll put that in the chat. That's exactly what it is. So you'll see when you go to that link, it's in the chat. You'll see the get verified, and what that's going to do is going to take you to a screen where you'll need to put in our information, Blue Ridge Community College, and then you need to upload a course syllabus. All it's looking for is the .edu domain. That's really all it means, and it's really kind of instantaneous. But I would recommend that just because it just sort of clears out the interface, and you can really work. And you'll see exactly what I'm seeing here too. Um, okay, let me jump over to Figma. So I'll go in. There's a couple of ways I'm using. You can access through the browser. There's also a desktop app, which allows you to kind of work with the distraction free. I just prefer working outside of the browser. It's a little cleaner. So is everyone still seeing my? I want to make sure I shared my entire screen. So you're seeing the interface there. And it might be a little small. There's not a whole lot I can do with. There's a lot on the interface. Let me see if I can just a second push this up to 200%. All right. So I'm not sure if that helped or not.
Not really, but I think we're getting the general idea. We
Yeah.
can see
So
your
I'll just kind of
dashboard.
point to the areas on the screen that we'll be talking about today, and then we'll go from there. Uh, so in the interface, the web version is going to look exactly the same. So you have kind of your team. So we have our teaching and learning team, which I can add you to. If you want to get verified for Figma, I can add you to the team, and then you'll have access to our style guide libraries, which includes like Blue Ridge logos and the fonts that you need to get started, and kind of just a bit of a starter pack. And back in the presentation, I will say at the bottom of this, if you click that link, the open guide, that takes you to a Notion page that has all that listed out anyway, and you can download the logos from there. If you need to, make something that's on brand, which I always recommend if you're doing, even if it's a watermark in a video or just kind of put in the little Blue Ridge logo there. It's always good to kind of bring in the brand whenever you can. Um, so back to Figma. So looking at the interface here, everything is fairly looks like it's fairly intuitive. You have templates in this gray bar, and then below these are all the files that you have, and they're organized uh, typically by time, the last time you edited them. And so if I go to create, you can see all the options. So these are the programs that you get when you're verified with education. As I was saying, design, FigJam is the the Flipgrid alternative. Slides is kind of an alternative to PowerPoint. Buzz is that's the official competition to Canva. Okay, so what Figma is doing now is they're pushing this template-based, template-first approach. So if you're like in Figma Buzz, you have not as many options, but what's here is pretty solid. So if you wanted to kind of play around with that, it might be a good option. Um, and Site, of course, this is a developing tool that they're using to try to compete with bigger companies like Wix and Squarespace, Webflow, Framer, a lot of those. So Figma Sites is kind of going to be they're trying to take a bite into that market a little bit and make, it's hard to describe what that is. It's just a vibe coding AI app. Super cool. Just give it a try. Can't really. So it can actually build interactive elements for you. I actually made an engineering glossary. If I can open this up, I'll show you real quick. So I'm working with Chad, one of the engineering instructors, and he's got, and this is just a kind of a first draft, but he had, a big Google document full of engineering terms, and these are related specifically to bridges. And so over here, you've seen AI prompts before, but I was asking it to take all these terms and create an interactive glossary so that the students could filter out through letter or search, and it's even uh, separated by modules. So just a thought. I thought, well, this is kind of neat to look. I'm not sure if how this would work in my courses, but uh, kind of a good approach. So go back one more. All right. So that's a really high level and quick overview of the tools that's offered. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new design file because that's where we're going to focus up today. Um, so with this interface, you can really already see if you've ever used Canva, if you've ever used Illustrator, you can see how stripped down this is and how it might be uh, pretty minimal at first, but there's fewer things to keep track of so that you can focus on your design, and that's what we're all about here. I'll start on the left on this column here, this left pane. Uh, you've got the title of your document, in which case I can make you can make this as specific as you like. So I'll say I was working on a music class, so I'll call this music 110. Say that's the course that I'm working on. Um, in the pages, that's exactly what you can keep different layers and different data sets on each page. But the layers, you'll see how this starts to fill in a little bit, but it's going to be a vertical representation of all the assets you have on your page. Every shape, every line, every frame, every text, image, everything's going to show up here. So it will give you a way to see um, what the asset is. Um, and as the design gets more complicated, as you get more things, of course, that list gets longer. Let me go down to the bottom and show you this toolbar. Everything that exists in this toolbar has a shortcut associated with it. That's kind of how I work and how I think, and I would recommend you can work a lot faster if you use shortcuts with anything, but for the most part, you'll have your shapes selections, and it's all very intuitive. Rectangle is R, line is L, arrow is Shift L because it's just a variation in a line. Ellipse is O. So, you can kind of think a bit like the shape. So if you consider what a course banner is at 1200 pixels wide, it's just a rectangle, right? With some styling. So that's how we're going to approach this whole thing. Um, Pin tools, good for drawing advanced curves and those similar tools to what you would find in any other design program. And text is T, and comments. So with the multiplayer collaboration part of Figma, that other people can come in just like in Google Docs, and they can see your cursor. They can comment if they have access. They can edit their stuff. We had a cool Fig Jam PD, I guess, a couple of years ago. I'm not sure when it was. It was like but we basically had everyone in there just doing stuff, submitting recipes and selfies, and it was kind of crazy. Hard to control. I realized it takes a big learning curve to actually use that with a class to be effective, but still, it was a nice shiny new thing. We all had fun at that moment. So this last icon is probably the most important in the toolbar. It's called the Actions menu, and this is really one of the reasons that Figma is able to move so lightweight through the web and exist, because there's nothing actually inside it. Everything it does, it has to call out to a plugin that is created by someone else. Like all we're going to talk about, and this gets pretty advanced as far as the workflows involved, but we're just going to look at the Unsplash plugin today and for images. So I'll get to that. So the last column I want to focus on is going to be just the design. We're not going to get into the prototyping or the developer mode or anything like that. So we're just looking at an empty artboard. And this menu will change based on the tool that you have selected. So, this will all hopefully come into uh, start to make sense after we get a few things on the page. So right now you can see we just have this super like infinite canvas. We're at 2% and really can't tell anything. So I'm going to go back to zoom in to 100%. There we go. Um, and so we're going to make sure we have a container or a frame that um, will keep our artwork organized. So if we any guesses as to what the shortcut key would be to add a frame? If you said F, then you're
Don't
correct.
know anything, Jamie. Just tell us. Sorry.
Okay, so if you're adding a frame, then the F key would do that because it starts with F. So we're gonna add the frame here, and you don't need to focus too much on the size of this. Just kind of make it to where it's big enough. You can take all the handles and make it bigger or smaller. So this everything that's put within this frame is going to we'll be able to drag around and move as we have. So uh, as you can manually move things, you can also change the position and the size of things here. So for example, if I wanted to make this an image that is going to be a full high definition, that's what you would call full HD. So the frame is what you select the size with, and you'll see this long menu. I know it looks complicated, but we're just going to look for slide 16 by 9. It's a 1920 by 1080. That's what you would call a full high def. Okay. So this would be the typical size for a television. It's just a good starting place. So within this frame, uh, we are going to go ahead and if I can find it. I think that's all we need. So we'll go ahead and start and create one course asset here. So we were talking about course banners, the idea of creating a welcome mat that would fit into the summary of your course. And so we'll just start doing that. So start. So the shortcut for a rectangle, you can either go down to the rectangle button or press R and then click. So that by default puts a 100 by 100 pixel rectangle in your frame. So instead of resizing this and trying to guess at the size, you could come over and see that now the layout is going to be over here. So that's going to be the size. So our goal today was going to be to make 3 banners with various heights. So we'll make the width. It's going to be 1200. We can move the height up to 300. So that'll be the first one that we make. And if I'll show you that I zoom way out, you can tell how big this canvas actually gets. So luckily, we're not going to use all that. So at some point, you may have to make your frame a little bit bigger, but we'll start there. That's a good spot. So we have a rectangle that's the right size, but we don't really have much else to do it. So we can first take out the fill and see we need to things are starting to appear on our layers pane here. So we have a frame, and then below that is a rectangle. We'll start seeing more of that. And you can actually click on the layer to select the object. So we have the rectangle selected, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a stroke here. Right. So now we can just see it on the page. So we'll go ahead and put that fill back in there. I shouldn't have deleted that. So for now, that's going to be fine. We'll just keep that like it is. Of course, this doesn't say a whole lot. You wouldn't want to put this in your course. So at this point, this is where we can start. We can call up the Unsplash plugin. So like I was saying, there are no images that live within Figma. It has to go find them from somewhere else. So down here at this actions menu that I was telling you about earlier, we can go to the plugins and widgets. And then from here, can type in Unsplash. Just open that up. And then we all have options here. So depending on what you're working on, since this is like a theoretical music class, I can type in maybe piano, something like that. Nothing too specific. So you have some filtering options. One thing that was frustrating about Canva is that it was hard to tell what image, if you didn't have a pro subscription, it was hard to tell which images were actually available to you. And sometimes you get an image in there and it would be full of watermarks or be obscured in some way. But it's easier to filter this in Unsplash. So you can go, once you're in this screen, you can filter it out by free, and we want to look for landscape photos. So I like this one here. That's pretty good. So since that rectangle is already selected, it's just going to put it directly. The image will go directly in that, and I can change the width of this, and the image will just kind of correspond to the size of the rectangle there. So I'll change that back to 300. Okay, so now we got a shape that has been filled with an image. And if we want to style the rectangle just a little bit, there's you kind of, again, just kind of, this is most of the information that you change is going to be right here on the right hand pane. It's going to change based on what tool you have selected. So in this case, since my courses has a little bit of corner rounding in some of the edges, we can have that here. So appearance is, we'll just have maybe change that to 30. So you see what that did to the corners. It kind of rounded those off and just made them a little more presentable. So now that you have the overall styling kind of set, you can still use this. So if you double click in the image, so you can go say, well, I went to, so double clicked on the image, and then you can see that you can move it actually up and down. So I want a little space for text here up at the top. It's a little bit of little bit of black space there. So now I'm satisfied with the image where it sits in the shape, and now I can start adding text. So in order to add text, you just press the T button. Okay, you see now the text tool is selected, and you just click. So you want to kind of set some of the parameters now. You can set your font to be well. There's a lot of options here. There's all the Google fonts, and you can use fonts that are installed on your computer if you have a need for it. But we'll just call this Music 110, and then Module 1. Just as a something to just as a placeholder. So obviously that's not going to work in the course with a huge image like this. So we need to change the topography a little bit. We can make you have all your options here to be. You can make that bold, and of course the biggest thing, we just want to make the text a lot bigger. I think 64 is typically a pretty good thing. So I'll just kind of make more comparisons to Canva if you've used that more. There are a lot of kind of hand holding options in Canva, like snapping to grid, and see these little as I move this text around, you can tell that the layout lines will show up depending on what it was. So if you want to center the image, you can kind of move it manually like that. I'm going to keep it up at the top so that it is a little more in the empty space there. So so since we have module 1, or sorry, the top banner at 64, we'll move this up to maybe 36. I think that'll be fine. And there are of course other options to left align and center, which we can do there. And really, if at the end of the day, this communicates a lot to your students. It gives context for the course. It gives very simple information. It's not going to have a table with a ton of with a paragraph full of words, or it's not going to be an unrelated image. And so this gives you a chance to really dial in what are you doing in this course module, and how does this image help it. That's not even just good design, and that's accessibility too. I mean, if the image doesn't serve a purpose in your course, then you have to ask, why is it there? And so this kind of gives you well, I curated the images myself, and I made these, and this would be fine to use on its own, but I want to dig a little deeper and show you again. Don't panic if you're not catching all of this. It's just the video will be available, but I'm gonna forge ahead and show you a couple of other things that you can do. So with this one, I'll just leave that one alone, and I'll create another one. So where Figma really does come in handy as well is the reusing of those items. So you can see that we have the text on the left, and we have the rectangle. So what we're going to do, we're going to select both of those. You can click one, press Shift, and then click the other one, and now they're both connected there. And so from here we can right click, and we'll group selection. Okay, so now whenever I move this, the text will not separate from the image. So really important there. So now we can even call this say module 1. And collapse that. So now we have that image that's done. So let's actually call this 1200 by 300. That'll be our first image. So we'll create the next one, and this is going to start making sense. So we'll press Control D to duplicate. So that shortcut, it actually makes an exact replica of what we just made. So we can take that one and just drag it down. Okay, so these are the same. So we want to change this one around. If you want a little more space in your course, if you want to make the image a little more visible, you'll just need to kind of go through and change a few things with this new image. So first of all, we want to change the size, right? So instead of 300, we want to go over to our right-hand pane and change that to 600, and now we have a slightly stretched image. Well, we're going to replace that anyway. Okay, so we have a 1200 by 600 image. the corner rounding is the same, and everything's kind of, so we will go back to our plugin, which is the Unsplash, and it'll be right there in your recent, so you can pull that back up. So if I want to talk about the orchestra, I can do that. And of course, the filters are going to reset. So you want to go to all licenses and then free, and then filter by landscape. So kind of go through this and find something that works for you. That would be fine. Give it a minute to go in. Okay, so you see that it did not go into the frame itself. So what we can do is there's a little caret here. You can expand that and select the rectangle. Let me do that again. So we're going to select the rectangle, go into the Unsplash. It's an easy mistake to make. So if you find that image. Okay, so cool. So you see what I did there. If you have nothing selected and you put an image in there, it's just going to kind of throw it onto the page, wherever you selected. But if you have the shape, like the rectangle, that's the base shape that we use to begin with, and then there's text on top of that, and then we just sort of fit an image in there. So now we have an image that's also ready to go. It's so let me do a couple other things with this. One thing you can do is add some effects, and there's a lot of things that you can do. So if you want to add, it's like a drop shadow. I mean, that's really just going to be as simple as adding the effect, and then you can kind of adjust these parameters as you want to. So if you can watch the image, let me zoom in a little bit more. As I move this X value up or down, you can see that the shadow will go in and out. So somewhere, I don't know, it's there's no right answer here. It's there's no wrong answer either. So if you want to go 20 to 20, you can see that that's fairly looks fairly symmetrical there. It's you want to have a blur, you can add that and move it up to say around 20 as well, and that's on support. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So and then you can of course change that opacity, so you make it a lot harsher of a shadow or more. I typically keep that at, wherever it was by default, somewhere around 26, 25%. So you can tell the difference in these two images, in that this one has a shadow and this one does not. It may not have the return of investment in time for you. That may be not something that you want to see, but it's just so you know, it's an option. So any questions so far? I haven't really been watching the chat, but
I've been keeping my eye on it, but we haven't had any questions yet, but this is a good time. Anybody want to take themselves off mute or throw a question in the chat?
if I'm going too fast, I'm happy to circle back with anything. Okay.
I think we're following.
Yep.
I think we're
Okay,
good.
good. So we have one more banner to make, and I will continue. So so we want to, now that since one thing I forgot to do earlier, since we duplicated the first one, we want to rename. So we can double click on in the layer over here and call that 1200 by 600, and that will be. And you don't really have to have a shape established to add any element. So I could add actually text right here, move that up to a good size, and say you can just label that as 1200 by 300, and this becomes an element that you can just move around on the canvas however you want. All the same shortcuts, like Control C for copy, Control V for paste, works just fine. It works the same as any other program. So duplicate that and call it 1200 by 600. And so the last one we'll do is going to be just a square. So we'll, if you notice, so look what I have selected here. I have this, the text with the T, and then the group here. So if I press Control D, duplicate, you see that we have now 2 more of these. So okay, so our goal is to have 300, 600, and what is this? And 1200. 1200. Okay, so click the last one. We want to make sure we label it properly. So that'll be 600 by 1200. Extra one. Oh, nope. Got too many. One thing I did not do is there. Okay. Let's click back on the square, and so I'll change the size from 1200, from 600 up to 1200. So now we have a square. So we're gonna, so that's not really gonna work. So we'll change that image out. If you want to go with a true a widescreen image, we should maybe think about it. So when we call our plugin, our Unsplash, to change the image, we'll do one more here, and see, let's just right. Was it composition? I'm just kind of making this up here. Let's sort that by free. So since this is a square image, we want to look. You can actually filter that out in Unsplash and call that a square. And it's just about anything. So we'll make sure that our rectangle is selected, and then we can find an image and just put it right in there. And of course, if you don't like the way it looks, if it looks too stretched, if it looks, really, there's a lot of ways that you can pull that around and make that to where it's, hey, I see the image, I can tell what it is. A lot of it is just, sort of, if you don't feel like you have that intuition for what makes an image look good, I mean, it's just a lot of it is just playing around with it with a tool like this, and not feeling that you're going to, permanently damage an image or make a or just make a mess of it, as I've heard before. So, uh, so one thing I'll just go back and do some house cleaning. I'll change the text of the modules, or so change that to module 2. You can just click on the text boxes and go to module 3. Okay. So, all right, perfect. So this image that I just chose, it's a little bit busier than the others. There's actually text. So if I were to put my text right here, that would be a bad idea to put that in your course, because you see how what an accessibility nightmare that is. It's not a whole lot better there. But one thing you can do is, so in the one before, we added the drop shadow. So for this one, let me get that image there. So this is, um, I'm trying to find that nice resolution. I think I need to go a little bit wider. Right. Okay, let's do that. Let's go. Let's make that image 1920 by. Okay, sorry, I had to kind of call an audible there, because the image wasn't looking as clearly as I was. So that's the point. It is really easy to just change the size of a shape, and the image will go with it. Versus Canva, which I feel like you've got to, there's a whole process of resizing the design, and after a while I lose track of what I'm actually working with. So I just like to have my numbers close to me, right, like that. So with this background image being busier, we can add an effect called, I want to add multiple effects, and I'm going to call it from this, I'm going to call it a layer blur. Now, what this will do is, if you have that image, since that rectangle is selected, you can start to blur that out. Move that text up there. Just a second. Sorry, I'm getting sure why there's an effect on that. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Can I guess? Was it because they were still grouped together?
Yeah, actually, that is what happened. So, that's a good guess. So it shows you if you see that I have, I've actually got a kind of a grouping nightmare here. So I've got a couple of different things going on, and this is sort of the management part of it. That once you start getting more things on there, it's important to keep them labeled. Uh, so I'll just bring this 1200 by this one out of there. Okay, so I'm kind of circling back a little bit with the instructions. So there we go. So with this image, you add a little, okay, we'll add an effect and then put a layer blur on that. I think that's what we need to do. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me there. Okay, so now what I'm demonstrating is that we can actually make this image in the background a lot, just kind of really obscure it so that the text will stand out. That's what we want. That's the main goal. So that if people can't read what the text is, that's where, but of course that is going to obscure the image. So, you got to find that sweet spot in there. Um, so, this is all very exploratory, and if you're if you're interested in kind of starting a work session, I'm planning on making some videos about that sort of gets into these tools a lot deeper and just explains kind of what the purpose is and how to use them, and really how to start out simple. But I think really as far as where we are with this presentation, that's about all I had, and I wanted to just open that up to questions. Again, that the link to the presentation is in the beginning of the chat. So, and if you're looking for now keep in mind this is not the official style guide for Blue Ridge. That one comes from like a SharePoint. This is just sort of something like I wanted the colors. If I wanted to style something with that blue, light blue, yellow, red colors that we have in our logo, those are available there and on that Notion page. So, so to kind of just to wrap this back up, I would really strongly recommend the education verification, and then you can join our team and I can share the style guide with you. That may be actually that's the link right there in the presentation. And then one thing I did get into a whole lot was accessibility. Now, what we're talking about with if you went to get this image out of your course, well, we of course need to think about contrast, but we also think about alternate text. And that's something you would do inside of the LMS. You don't do that here. So we can have these things that's grouped, and so over here on the right column, we see that there's an export tab. And so from here, you have these four options. You have the PNG, the JPEG, the standard vector graphic, and the PDF. You're going to want to choose either of these top ones. The PNG is really tried and true, and then that's it. You can preview it and then export that, and I'll put that in my downloads. And if you've ever uploaded a course and a banner to your course, it's fairly straight ahead. I'll show you this. These are the ones that I created earlier. So you can just edit summary. I'll delete that one, and I'll go on my downloads. And then it's just a matter of finding the image you just made, putting it in there. Add the alternate text. Oh, where's the rest of mine? Yeah. I can choose original size and then it's not decorative. So we can just say, here's 110 module 1, image of a piano key in background. I don't know. This shows our alt text is something you'll need on every image, and then you just save and it's a strange layout that my courses is doing that. I've never seen the save changes on the right there. All right, and that's it. So now you've you know, I could create that image in 4 minutes. You can have it uploaded with alt text, and you do that for every module of your course, and it adds a lot of value. We do that a lot in teaching and learning. It's so as far as creating, if you're looking for something concrete that shows a definitive example of what you're talking about, or something more abstract, if you're trying to just sort of convey a concept or something. So just from the beginning to the end, I hope that paints a picture of where you can go from here. So we've got about 8 minutes left in the session, so I just wanted to leave that open to any questions that that you might have. So feel free to take yourself off mute, and if you have any thoughts, or I'd like to hear your own experience with what you use to manage images, or if there's something you see I'm doing that would help my workflow. So anyway, just feel free to hop in.
Jamie, this is Brown. I just thought I'd throw my 10 cents worth in here.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
enjoyed this. While you were doing, I went ahead and logged in and got my Figma Pro, the educational one, set up and loaded
Nice.
it down. So I was playing on the other side, if you notice my head going back and forth. But I was paying attention and it was really good.
Thank you. Awesome. That's great to hear. I appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes there's just too much noise in a web browser. Sometimes there's too much complications in a tool, and I feel like if the learning curve is too big, then I spend more time just figuring out where things are, and I feel like this made the shortest distance between 2 points with getting started. Yeah. So, do you use Illustrator a lot, and kind of the other design tools?
I have in the past. It kind of varies. I just see whatever works best for me. And a lot of times I just look and cut and paste stuff. I've been doing this for a rather good while.
Mhm. Yeah. And to that point, it does make a really good spot to just dump a screenshot. I mean, you're really, so if I make one here of the so I mean, for example, if I just hit Windows Shift and S, I can actually go into Figma and Control V and paste that screenshot. So that's what I just did. And so you can see that it wasn't extremely high quality, but I can still annotate this if I needed to, draw attention to one thing, like with an arrow. Simple as that. So that's about as easy as it would be in Paint, I think. maybe a little easier. So Josh, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Mhm.
So I've set up my account while you were talking as well. I was
Mhm.
trying to go through it. To export this, I was trying to follow along with that. You
Mhm.
simply click on the export check on the right.
I'm just realizing I wasn't sharing my screen when I demonstrated all that.
Yeah, you
I'm
were. Yeah,
sorry.
we
You
saw it.
are,
Oh, it was?
We saw it. I
Yeah.
think we just missed do you just hit the export 1200 by 600? I think it was just like a little button at the bottom in the
Yeah.
export
So
menu.
depending on what you need to export, so you want to make sure that it's selected. So you have
Okay.
so this one, those numbers are so confusing. I'm just going to call that module 1. That is so much better. Okay. So if I have module 1 selected, so on the right there's an export right underneath the effects.
Yeah.
So you can just export that. So you might have to expand that particular column. So click the word export, and underneath it will say export, and then have the file name underneath
Okay.
right next to
Got
that.
it.
Then you just choose a destination.
Okay.
from it. And the downloads is fairly, I mean, it's fairly ubiquitous. That's where I keep my stuff, unless I'm doing something for an instructor, in which I'll make a, a folder in which it
Got it.
says course name, and then media, and then banners, or something, some kind of a structure like that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot to this program, and I couldn't possibly cover it in an hour. Particularly, there's even a more kind of a draw feature, which allows you to select brushes, and use it more like an actual paint tool. But it's just a blast to use. It's so much fun because you could use it on a potato. I mean, it requires no computing power whatsoever, and it's not like that big clunky Adobe Illustrator, which is just like, okay, work with me here. Kind of need a tanning bed of a computer to get it working. So, anyway, it's just a lot of fun to kind of play around with and learn. And there's a great community. There's so many people that are using this, that offer templates and designs for free, and it's just kind of a good place to hang out. And the fact that they value education users and instructors was a bigger thing for me. So, yeah, hope that answers your question.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Jamie, would you recommend to us a banner size that you think loads the nicest, looks the best out of these three? Do you have a favorite?
I think if you have, it depends on, a lot of it depends on how your table of contents is set up.
Mhm.
If you were doing things from module and it's something you could fit fairly easily, I think if you're trying to duplicate what's in the module versus what's in the course, you'll see that a lot on the page. So if, as far as the vertical space, if you can convey the image like it's CIS, if you have like just a circuit board that doesn't have a lot of detail, and you're just using it as like a pattern, like a very narrow image will work. But that's where I would use the 300, because you don't need, 1,000 pixels of just circuit board. That's so I would say it depends on the image. Typically, I tend to go for the 600 range, because you can, the 1200 by 600. I think that's the official. Well, I can't say the official. I'm not sure what that is, but so a lot of the LinkedIn banners, Etsy banners, those, when you see that cover image up top, that's about what they are. So that's what I would call the Goldilocks,
Mhm.
of being the right length and width. And so I uploaded an image that were 4K. Don't do that.
Mhm.
The LMS will accept them, but as students start to access those, if they have slow internet, that was just a mistake that I made of just creating images that were way too big and
Mhm.
too clear. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
that's a
thanks
good
for that.
question. Yeah, real good questions here. And just find me sometime, if you want to deep dive. We can have, I have work sessions sometimes, and we can just start creating. And I've got other things that we use, like an OBS, like an overlay that can sort of make your screen front and center, and then keep your webcam in a frame, or something like that. We know there's a lot of things that you can build with it that's directly related to your course. So, yeah, y'all just let me know. Happy to make your course banners if you need. If you just realized all this was nonsense and you just want me to do it, we can work that out too. So, whatever you need. So,
Well, I appreciate you sharing this tool with us, Jamie, and I think it's given us some opportunity to do some of it on our own, and then we'll reach out for more support and if we want to collaborate.
yeah, please do. Like to hear your thoughts anyway, about if you're using a course that's maybe 4 or 5 years old. Maybe you have new content, but you just need a refresh on some of the visuals. Uh, it's something you can do in maybe an hour, a couple of hours, and just, it's a lot easier than you think. So anyway, if you're watching this recording, please feel free to just scrub through and to any parts that you might have missed. But thanks everyone for coming.